Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. I'm here today to do a themed reading vlog. Very excited about all of these 3 books because they've all been very highly anticipated for such a long time now, and we're theming them as romance books. We're also going to theme them as pink books to, of course, get into the season of love and get ready for Valentine's Day, because that will hopefully be coming up right when this vlog goes up. So I've got 3 books that I want to read for this reading vlog. First up is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. This is a STEM romance. I've heard that it's her steamiest one to date, and it's a secret affair. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to read anything else, and we're going to go based off that trope and the fact that I love Ali Hazelwood and have really enjoyed all of her books that I've read. I've given all of her novels 5 stars and her short stories 4 or 5 stars, so I have very high hopes for this one and cannot wait to get to it. I need to catch up on her before her new book comes out, if it's not already out by the time that this video goes up. I know she has a book releasing in February, and I need to keep reading her because it's been a while since I've read a novel from the author, so cannot wait to get to this one and dive in. This is a very chunky romance from Book of the Month, but it is pretty big text, so hopefully it will be very easy to fly through. I love Ali Hazelwood's books and how they're such a combination of entertainment and steam and heart and humor and deep conversations, and just such a very good mix and blend of like all those different elements that make stories so fun. I think that Ali Hazelwood does a great job at them, and I cannot wait to get to this one. I also plan to read, probably first for this vlog, My Darling Bride by Ilsa Madden Mills. This is a fake dating romance, I believe, or a fake engagement romance about Graham, who's a football star, and Emmeline, who runs a bookstore, which I love. I love books that include books within them, so I am excited for this one. I have read 2 books by this author as well and have really enjoyed them, so I'm excited to get to this one. And then finally, the book that was all the talk for a long time, Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I am very behind on the hype and need to catch up. I have no idea what this book is about, except that it's about 2 serial killers, and it is a dark romantic comedy full of murder, chaos, and sizzling chemistry. These are the 3 books that I plan to read for this pink reading vlog. I love that they're all pink, and I love that they're all different kinds of pinks, and I think this is going to be so much fun and really a way to, I don't know, get excited, I guess, about Valentine's Day this year and just be able to enjoy reading some romance for a little bit and dedicating a vlog to just reading some romance and also reading romances that are pink, which I feel like I don't have a ton of pink books on my shelf. I've definitely got a good number, but not as many as some other colors on my shelf, so very much want to prioritize these 3 for this video, and it should be a great time. I try to do my vlogs normally where I do at least 1 mid-book update, normally around 50%, but we'll see where the wind takes us. Sometimes I'm not really in the mood to do that, so we'll see what ends up happening. But I think that My Darling Bride is going to go ahead and be my first book that I read for this vlog, and hopefully it's a great time, and I'll hop back in here at some point once I start it with my first update. I'll give y'all an official synopsis and my current thoughts on the book. But until then, hopefully we'll be able to enjoy some good b-roll and some fun stuff, and I will chat to y'all later. Good evening, y'all. Long time no talk. I think I probably filmed this vlog intro 3 weeks ago at this point. It is already pretty much February, and I have finally started my books for this vlog. My life has taken quite the turn recently in terms of craziness, and I'm determined to read these books before Valentine's Day so I can get this vlog out, and we're gonna do it. It's gonna be fine. But I am here officially with my first update for My Darling Bride, and I ended up getting this book on audio because Kindle Unlimited offered the audiobook for free if you downloaded it on KU. So I was like, why the heck would I not do that when it's free? Because I pay for the subscription. So I'm listening to it mostly on audio now, and I'm not tabbing this one or anything, although I do think that it is very enjoyable. If I'm being honest, I don't have the time to focus while tabbing it. I'm doing so much stuff right now, and I feel like just doing it via audiobook is the best route for me at this point versus like audiobooking it but also sitting down to look at the pages and be able to tab and annotate and things like that. But so far this one is super enjoyable. This is about a football player whose name is Graham, and he's in an accident and is still kind of getting over the symptoms of his injury and the fears that he has because of this head injury that he had. And he ends up meeting this bookstore manager whose name is Emmy. She is currently in danger of losing her store, and he wants to make a deal to marry her because in order to get his inheritance money from his grandmother, he has to be married by the age of 30, I think, is the rules for this one. And he wants to get this money from his inheritance for his brother to open up a gym. Even though Graham has a lot of money just because of his job as a football player, his brother won't take the money that he has worked so hard to earn. So he's trying to get this inheritance money to help his brother out. And he ends up meeting Emmy first across the country from where they live in New York, when they both run into each other at a hotel, or a motel I guess, in the desert, and end up helping each other out. She ends up wild stealing his car to escape her abusive ex-boyfriend, who tries to come and get her back after she's decided that she could no longer go back to him. And so she takes his car and drives to the airport, and somebody ends up stealing the car and wrecking it. So he's like, I'm gonna find her. Her payback, quote unquote, is gonna be to marry me as a part of this deal. So that was a very roundabout way to say we've got a marriage of convenience, kind of, slash fake marriage, slash marriage of inconvenience, I guess, for Emmy. But so far this book is super duper fun. I am very much enjoying going back between Emmy and Graham's POVs and kind of watching their own lives as they're starting to interact more together. I'm not quite 50% of the way through it, but I am very close. I'm only like 20 pages away from that halfway mark, so I am making very quick progress. I started this book 2 days ago and have been very slowly listening to it in chunks when I'm able to, just with everything happening right now. But so far it is very fun. I have read 2 books by this author and have loved them both. One of the characters from The Revenge Pact, which I've also read, was mentioned at one point, and I kind of giggled because I like recognized the name and I was like, oh my goodness, I've read that book also. So that's very fun. But I am very much loving this one. I really enjoy this author and I'm excited to see where it goes. Have very high hopes for it though, and thankfully the audiobook is also entertaining and engaging, and I want to pick it up, if that makes sense. So love that for me, but my plan is to ideally finish it by the end of this weekend. In a perfect world, I would have been able to finish it by tomorrow, which is January 31st, but that probably will not happen, so my goal is just by the end of this weekend, which is also going to be busy. So we'll see what happens, but that is my dream, and we need to get it done because I need to read all the books for this vlog, for this Valentine's Day vlog that I'm so excited about, but life has just gotten busy, and I don't know if it'll be slowing down until the summer. So anyway, not gonna go into details about that aspect of my life yet, but in terms of reading, taking it slow, but it's fun, and I'm hoping to make some good progress on it in the next couple of days. But I'll hop back in here when I finish the book. I do anticipate it being a 4-star read right now, if not a 5-star read. We'll see how the chemistry between Emmy and Graham develops, but so far, pretty fun, and I cannot wait to see what happens next.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take.
Good morning, y'all. I'm here with another vlog update because last night I did end up finishing My Darling Bride, and I'm giving this book 3 stars. Did I think it was cute? Yes. Did I really fall in love and connect with the characters and the plot and their story? Not necessarily. There was something about it in the end that just kind of felt very to me. Like a lot of what happened in the book didn't not matter, but it just didn't fit, I guess, with me personally. Does that even make sense? I don't know. I didn't quite click with their chemistry. Yes, it was there, but there was some unnecessary drama that happened between the characters and them pushing each other away, and I didn't love that. I just felt like this book was more about them being not together than together in the end, and it didn't quite feel super romancy to me, if that makes sense, especially as a book that is supposed to be a romance. I felt like the characters were apart more often than together, and I just didn't end up loving that. I did still give it 3 stars. I do love this author. I have read 2 of the author's other books and really enjoyed them. This one unfortunately just didn't quite hit the same spot for me as some of her other books have, but I did like it, and it is a love book for the month of love, so that's great, I guess. But now, moving on from this one into Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, I think there's going to be a new potential favorite book in this one because I love Ali Hazelwood. I have given everything that she has ever written that I've read 4 or 5 stars, so I have very high hopes for this one. I've heard that it's her spiciest book to date right now. Her newest release, Deep End or Swim Deep or something like that, I don't know what it's called, it comes out in 2 days, and I do have it pre-ordered, and I've heard that that one might be spicier than this one, but I do have very high expectations for this book in terms of entertainment and chemistry and romance, but also like very deep and heartfelt moments at the same time, and I'm really looking forward to it. I do plan to start this one today, and ideally I tab it while I'm reading it. I probably won't full on annotate it because I don't have time to do that right now, but I'll definitely tab it because I have tabbed most of the author's other books that I've read and don't want to not do that with this one. So I think that's my plan. I have no idea what it's about, but it is a STEM romance, as most of her books are, although now she seems to kind of be diving into other subgenres of romance. So excited about this one and all of her other books that she's writing. But I'll hop back in here once I actually know what the book is about and can give y'all a synopsis for it. But I have very high hopes for this one. Let's just hope I don't put this book too high up on a pedestal, but I don't think that's possible with Ali Hazelwood. So I'll hop back in here soon with my first update for it.
Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting dark.
I'm here for a vlog update for y'all so quickly because I have flown through the first half of Ali Hazelwood's Not in Love, and let me tell y'all, this book is making me blush. And I knew that was going to happen because when I read Love Theoretically by her last year or the year before that, I could not physically handle the things that came out of the main male character's mouth, and it made me blush a lot, which I don't feel like I do in books. But Ali Hazelwood knows how to write a man who is a man. I have no other descriptions. I'm obsessed with this book. I think it's spurring some very interesting commentary on childhood neglect and insecurities and family trauma and tension that affects these characters in their present life, while also being very spicy, while also giving the characters a chance to build a connection with each other. Yes, on a physical level, but also on a deeper level than that, which I just think is so sweet and so fun to watch. I have been tabbing this book, as you can see. I love Ali's books and knew that I was gonna love this one also, and I'm so glad that I am flying through it and really enjoying it. I will give y'all a very quick synopsis about this one. This is a romance, obviously, about our 2 main characters, Rue and Eli. Rue works for this company that has been acquired by Eli's company, and it's kind of a little bit blurry on if they're trying to shut Rue's company down or if they're trying to acquire it to make it better and to give them more finances. They spark a little bit of a physical connection when they meet on an online dating app, or kind of like more of a hookup app, and they end up kind of starting this physical relationship and having to keep it a secret because he's kind of like not her boss, but kind of more powerful than her in terms of their workplace right now. But also, while they're fostering this connection, they're also getting to know more about each other on a deeper level. And it's just so good so far. I highly anticipate being able to finish it by Friday. That's my goal. Gives me 2 more days to dive into it. I do have the audiobook for it, and the audiobooks, I feel like for the Ali Hazelwood books that I have read have just been so good. The narrators are so good in this one. They go back and forth. So like if Rue is speaking, it's in her voice, and then if Eli's speaking, it's in his voice, and I just love that balance. Kind of like listening to a dialogue play out versus like just one narrator reading everybody's parts. So I do love that aspect of it, and of course in true Ali Hazelwood fashion, it is very spicy, and the spice kind of is making me blush. I was sitting in a coffee shop listening to a chapter, and I kind of like had to like put my hand over my cheek and was kind of like trying to hide the pages of the book a little bit because it definitely got a little bit spicy. But I am very much looking forward to finishing up this book, hopefully in the next couple of days, and probably giving it 5 stars. I don't know why I wouldn't, but I'll hop back in here once I do finish it, and we'll see what my final rating is. Happy Friday, y'all. I wanted to hop in with an update because I have officially finished Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, and I have given this book 4.5 stars. This book didn't quite give me that 5-star feeling like some of her other books have, except for the last couple chapters, and then I was truly super giddy over these 2 characters. But I did have such a fun time. It's such a beautiful love story, and I had the best time reading it. So 4.5 stars to Not in Love. I do think I like some of her other books a little bit better still, but still so enjoyable, and I'm glad that I finally read it. Ali Hazelwood just knows how to write the perfect main male character and how to get those main characters to fall first for the girl that they love. I feel like almost all of her books that I've read, at least, he has fallen first, and I just think there's something so adorable about that. I love a man who falls fast, and he falls hard, and he falls first, and Eli is definitely one of those characters in this book. This one is also not as STEM related as some of her other books have been, which, as somebody who can easily get confused in that whole realm, I did like. There is a lot of law stuff going on in this book as Rue's company is kind of in the midst of a change. But once I read the first chapter where I was very confused, I was able to figure myself out and be able to track along with what was happening, which I do appreciate how Ali can write about these professional topics without being over the top about it or being very confusing with it. So I do appreciate that, as always. And I got all the tabs in this one. It's beautiful, and I cannot wait to dive into another book by hers very soon, hopefully, now that I am kicking my legs over this book and really loved it. But now that that book is done, we're gonna go ahead and dive into my final pink romance book for this vlog, which is Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I have heard very good things about this book, and that it's very funny and very dark and very romantic, very spicy, and I'm excited to finally see what all the hype is about. I don't think I'm going to annotate this one. I think I'm just gonna listen to the audiobook. I did find the audiobook on Audible a couple months ago for really cheap, and I got it because I was like, that's just how I read nowadays. So I thought about annotating this one, but I'm kind of thinking at this point I'm just gonna listen to it while I clean my room tomorrow morning, hopefully, and start my book club book for the month of February. But I have no idea what this book is about, which is a very common thing that I say on my channel. However, once I reach the halfway mark, I'll hop back in here with a first initial update, give y'all a synopsis, and we'll chat about it. But I feel like I'm one of the only people who has not read this book yet, and I would like to hop on that train. So I plan to start this one tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have an update for y'all very soon.
Where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in this air.
Hello y'all, I'm here with my 50% update for Butcher and Blackbird. I have binged the first 166 pages of this book within the last couple hours. I did run out today to do my nails for upcoming engagement, which may or may not have already happened by the time that this video ends up coming out. Not engaged at this exact moment, but I know that it's coming, and I was told to get my nails done for it. So did my nails, was out for that, but otherwise I've been here reading. I'm currently doing sprints with Stasia on her channel, and it's been very productive so far. I've read over 66 pages since starting the sprints. This book has been very entertaining so far. However, I can already say that it's not one that I'm gonna feel the need to keep afterward, and I'm okay with the fact that I didn't end up tabbing it like I kind of wanted to do for all the books in this vlog. I feel like I made the right move with just tabbing Not in Love, because that was the book that I just had the best feeling about. But this is still a very fun time. It is a serial killer romance between our main character Sloane and Rowan. Rowan finds Sloane first when she gets trapped in a cage in some really bad person's basement after she killed him, and he rescues her, and they end up starting this kind of game once a year where they meet up with a clue about a bad person that they should kill, and whoever does the deed first wins that round. And in the midst of these once a year events, they are messaging each other. They do end up running into each other a couple times in their everyday lives as well, and it's very evident from the start that Rowan sees something in Sloane that he really likes, but Sloane doesn't quite catch on at first, and now that she's starting to have feelings, she doesn't quite understand how Rowan could have feelings for her. So there's a little bit of a lack of communication in that sense between them, but their chemistry is very strong. It is a very fun book, but there's also some really good one-liners in it, which I just love seeing in romance, especially coming from Rowan. He's had some really good quotes so far that I kind of wished I had made note of, but it's okay. I'm not going to tap this book because I probably won't keep it when I'm done with it, but it is fun. Is it my normal style of romance or just book in general? Not really anymore, but I do understand the hype. I do get it, and I'm excited to see what ends up happening in the second half of the book. I like it. I don't love it, but it is very entertaining and a very quick and fun read, which I always appreciate. My goal, if all goes to plan, is to finish this book up by the end of the weekend. It is almost Valentine's Day already. I don't know how. It's February 8th and Valentine's Day is in 1 week, and I am very excited about it this year, and think that could be a pretty big day for myself and my partner personally, but we'll see what ends up happening in terms of engagement stuff. But if he's watching this on the day that it's supposed to come out, which is before Valentine's Day, I'm not spoiling anything because I really have no idea what the heck is going on, but maybe I'm getting engaged next weekend. I don't know. Would be a great way to celebrate Valentine's month though, so we'll see. But so far, this book is really fun. I love the audiobook. The audiobook is very well done, so if you're thinking of reading this one and you haven't yet, I would recommend the audiobook personally, and I can't wait to see what happens. But hopefully next time y'all see me, I will be done with this book and we'll have completed this Valentine's Day vlog, which is so fun. I love a good romance vlog, and I'm glad that I decided to do a themed vlog for the holiday this year because I don't think I've done one before, and it's been great. So I'll be back in here soon, hopefully with my final update, and we will chat more then. So I have something to show y'all, and this was not how I anticipated ending this vlog. I was anticipating this event happening after this vlog was already uploaded for Valentine's Day, but my early Valentine's Day gift this year is that I am officially engaged, which is very exciting. As of yesterday, February 9th, I am engaged to my now fiance, which is very exciting. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in my last clip that I did, my kind of hypothesis on when this was going to happen, and I was completely taken off guard with it actually being yesterday instead of this upcoming weekend, which is Valentine's Day. I feel like I haven't quite processed it yet. It's been a whirlwind of a 24-hour, 36-hour period, and here we are. So that's very exciting. My next video to come out, I will not be engaged yet because I filmed it before finishing up this vlog. So that's fun. But I'm engaged, but on top of being engaged, I have also finished Butcher and Blackbird, which was the third and final book for this Valentine's Day reading vlog. I ended up giving this book 3.5 stars. It was cute and it was entertaining in the beginning, but by the end of it, I didn't hate it by any means. I actually really liked it, but I wasn't laughing. I wasn't feeling any emotions toward anything that was happening, both on the mystery slash suspense slash murder side and on the romance side. I was pretty unemotional throughout the back half of this book and reading it, and this book is not as spicy as I thought it would be. Yes, it is spicy, but you don't get any of that until the 50% mark, which is totally cool with me. I love a good slower burn romance, but I felt like it was kind of repetitive by the time that we did get to the spice, and I think that was kind of the point that I was a little bit less interested in the book because I just felt like we were reading the same spice over and over again. So 3.5 stars to this book. I did like it. I will probably continue the series, but I probably won't collect the physical copies of the books. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to unhaul this one and see if anybody else is interested in having it, and probably just borrowing the rest of the trilogy via my library or Libby or on Audible or something like that. So I did like it. A lot of content warnings for this book though, which I'll have listed in the description down below. I can see why it's very hyped up. It's not my usual style of book anymore, but it was fun, and all the serial murdering wasn't as intense, I guess, as I thought it was gonna be. Maybe that's because I read a lot of thrillers and mysteries already that I wasn't super fazed by anything that happened in this one, but 3.5 stars. I did like it. So that does conclude my reading romance Valentine's Day vlog, which is super exciting. I cannot wait to get this video out before Valentine's Day and recommend aspects of these books to y'all. I guess in order from least favorite to favorite, although I did like aspects of all these books and I gave them all 3 stars or higher. First up would be My Darling Bride, which I gave 3 stars, and then Butcher and Blackbird, which I gave 3.5 stars, and then finally Not in Love, which I gave 4.5 stars. So overall, a pretty good reading vlog for me, I would say. I love reading romance. I love Valentine's season officially, which is pretty exciting, and I'm glad that I was able to knock 3 physical books off my TBR, which is one of my biggest goals for 2025, so it did feel good to do that. I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job so far in focusing on physical books this year and balancing buying and reading, and I've only purchased a couple books this year. I've only purchased 1 via my book buying goals and then a couple with subscriptions, so I feel really good about that, and I'm very glad that I chose some physical books to read for this vlog. If you've read any of these books or have any pink Valentine's books recommendations, please feel free to comment down below. I love good romance. I read romance all year round, and I'm always looking for more books to add to my TBR. But that is all that I have for today's video. Very exciting way to end things. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.